gentlemen, welcome back to the MaxBet podcast, a podcast dedicated to gaming.
We're your hosts. I'm here with Landon Michael Jones, and I'm Mike McKiskey. Let's get started.
Let's roll. Action.
Rolling.
Welcome back to the podcast. We have a very exciting episode coming up to you. Kiski, tell the people what we're about to do.
You know, it's a good one when you get into weirdo radio host voice, so that's
I love
good. Coming today to Light and Wonder Studios.
To a studio near you.
This studio that you're
here,
sitting in
today
is Gary Ellis
and
his daughter, Anamarie Ellis. Famous for many things, but I think Ellis Island Casino is probably the most obvious one with the name literally right in the title there. You have... They own, I don't know exactly the structure of it, all the Village pubs in Las Vegas, which for those not here in town is like where every college-aged or slightly post-college age person finds themselves after a long night out of fun, right? You go...
Ellis Island's the first place I've ever gambled. They had like the 50-cent roulette.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we'd go from UNLV over
That's
to play and get like steak and eggs.
I'm trying to remember if it was I don't think it was the first place I gambled, but it was certainly somewhere I gambled.
Yeah.
Because you'd be singing karaoke if we're getting into it. Like you had I don't know if it was dollar pizza, but it was cheap pizza, good pizza, but cheap pizza, and the karaoke bar, and then you could live like a king for $30.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's all you need when you're in college.
That's all you want.
Sort of
50-cent roulette.
Royal life. Yeah,
cheese
exactly.
Pizza and karaoke.
Yeah, cheap blackjack too, I remember thinking.
Cheap blackjack.
So anyway, they're coming. And they're not even coming. They're not even necessarily even coming to talk about karaoke and pizza. They're coming to talk about cashless.
Correct.
So this will be our first in a series of different cashless conversations we're having.
6 episodes.
6 episodes. Episode 1 here with the Ellis family. Sponsored by Marker Trax. So
Correct.
Marker Trax is, we'll find out a lot of the history today. But essentially, they're credit for everyone, right? So they're a credit option for casinos to offer guys like you and me credit, right? Because a lot of times I always think of credit as the celebrity credit. And I only ever hear about it when they default, right, on the credit. Right. So famously, we had a hockey player that we don't like here in Vegas come in and not pay his marker at the Cosmo for $500,000. And so that's what I hear about it. So I never think of credit, right? But they're bringing it to the masses. So.
Yeah, and it's way cheaper than the ATM.
Sounds
like
it. Yeah, sounds like it. And so, so that's kind of so Marker Trax. And then they also own a company called Coin, which I think is like a cashless wallet. Yep. So they'll be part of the conversation. And then as we roll through the next, 4 or 5 episodes, it'll be a different dialogue with different leaders and users of cashless and kind of what we're doing and where this is going. And
let's try to bring education back. Let's make it fun again.
Smart has always been sexy. What are you talking about?
I think that's the purpose of this, right? We want to have cool conversations with the leaders in our industry that are leading this cashless,
revolution.
Revolution.
I don't know what
to call it.
It's like
it's a revolution.
The next thing. They're the tip of the spear, I guess, if you want to think of it. But
we're gonna have cool conversations with some cool people and try to educate you and us on what
us first and foremost,
is, right? Because we're always asking, like, we think we understand. It's like, it's cashless.
Well,
there's no cash.
The word.
Idiot.
I understand the word, right? But how does it work? How does it fit together? I think some of that.
What does it mean for you, the player, you, the operator?
Well, and that's what's cool about Gary and Anamarie. Like they own the casino,
right?
And they provide the casino the technology.
Right.
Like that's a pretty unique position. I can't think of too
100%.
many people that develop for casinos and own one. So they get really real-time feedback and pretty good insights. So.
But I'm excited for this episode.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a
fun
long
one. We
episode.
should get into it.
Let's do it.
Welcome back to the show, guys. And this week we're joined Gary and Anamarie Ellis from many different companies, I should say, the Ellis family. Let's just say, but. Thanks for making time and coming by to have some conversations.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Awesome. And I know we have a ton to talk to, but I feel like with the Ellis family being so big in Vegas and so important, I put a few feelers out and I go, hey, so I got Gary Ellis and Anamarie coming in, and what should I talk about? And so there's 2 things that came up. One was basically just universally, we all just want to say thank you for creating the Village Pub. So for those that grew up in Vegas, that was always the post night out, like end of, eggs and pancake availability for us. And so you're a hero, even though no one knows that it's you necessarily. So thank you for that. And then the other one that jumped out to me was, I heard you caught the biggest fish in Hawaiian history. Is that a real story, or is that top 3?
Yeah.
How'd that go down?
It was the second largest.
Okay.
Off Lahaina.
Okay.
Little fishing village in Maui, and.
Was that an epic struggle? I feel like that was probably what. Did you just reel that in for 2 hours? Or,
7 hours.
7-hour fight?
7 hours.
My brother, his wife, my wife, and I went to golf.
Sure.
And I was a golfer at the time. I've quit since, but I went to golf. My brother gets seasick every time he goes on a boat.
Sure.
Throws up, sick as hell, every time.
This is how they caught the fish.
That's right. Yeah, shoving that.
That's right. But he chartered a boat.
Yeah.
He said, we're going fishing tomorrow. I said, Jesus, I came to golf.
Yeah, right. I'm here for other
He
things.
said, no, we're going. I said, you get sick every time. I'll be fine this time.
Yeah, okay.
Well, sure as hell. Go out. He starts throwing up the minute we get out.
Not even in choppy waters yet. Yeah.
Still tied to the dock.
Unbelievable,
Yeah.
right? So feels a little better. They hook onto a fish. They can tell it's a big one. And he gets in the chair for about 3 minutes, starts puking again, right? Says, you got to come do this. Okay. So get in the chair. It's 7 hours and 10 minutes later.
Oh, wow. Yeah, geez.
We land this fish, and it was brutal. It was brutal. My wife hated me. My brother came out and said, you got to cut the line. His wife, she wanted to kill me.
Because why are they mad at you? Just because you're not giving up on it? You're going, we are doing this.
He said,
they're all boat sick.
They're all sick inside. And, trying to watch the horizon of
the sunset and the whole thing, yeah.
And my brother came out and said, you got to cut the line. I said, I'm not cutting the line. It was like 3 hours in.
Yeah.
I said, that's not going to happen. And then the skipper of the boat says, you're going to need somebody else to come in and help land the fish. I said, then I will cut the line. Because I had all this time invested. He wanted one of his buddies to come in. It was almost 1,000 pounds.
It was like a marlin or something?
Marlin,
really?
16,
Jeez.
17 feet.
Wow.
It's mounted somewhere.
Yeah, it was mounted outside of Metro Pizza at the Village or Ellis Island next to the brewery. And then we actually brought it back a couple years ago when we did a tiki bar at the front yard at Ellis Island. So that was really fun to have it back.
That is pretty cool. And then you caught it. So I guess the way it works is if somebody would have assisted you, they would have caught the fish is kind of the deal, or shared in the catching. Yeah.
Right. It was. We pulled in. We had to tow the fish because it wouldn't fit on the boat.
Sure.
Towed it into this little fishing boat.
You imagine it breaks off.
No.
Towing it in.
Other things go to eat it.
Right.
Yeah. Geez.
Pulled in, to the dock area, and there's like 200 people. And it's a fishing village, so it was a big deal for them. Right?
Yeah.
It was on the front page of the newspaper the next day. Never bought a drink the remainder of the trip.
Yeah, geez,
that was the good part.
That's it.
But I couldn't golf because I was
your hands so sore.
Oh yeah, I was hurt. I was wounded.
I could not imagine wrestling a fish for 7 hours, or 7 hours and 10 minutes, as it were. Yeah, that's.
They're like,
very
how long
important
have you
10
been fishing? You're like, 7 hours and 10 minutes.
What
10
time is
minutes
it?
the
Yeah,
worst.
that's wild. Well, congrats on that. That's
I
cool.
guess.
So, do you eat a fish like that?
No.
I mean, obviously you mount it. I don't know the other process. Yeah.
They measure it, and they have a company that duplicates it and mounts it.
Put you in the paper. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's
it was
crazy.
all right. It's fun. I said I did it. That was
Yeah.
the last time.
And we're done. No more fishing. No more golfing.
No,
We've done all the
that's it.
records that we can have.
That's it.
Did you have any fun stories that we didn't get to hear about?
Did you catch any fish?
I did not catch any fish of that size. I did have a
Don't
parade
leave her
for
out.
me in Hawaii, but no.
That's okay. Oh man. So we're here to talk about cashless gaming.
Correct.
So we're going to, so fortunately, and thank you again, I'll say it on air, for sponsoring this series. So Marker Trax is, I don't know if you're one of the first cashless companies, but you're certainly one of the leaders in cashless. And so I think coming together and saying, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we got different cashless, companies or folks that are, leaders that are kind of in the space saying, well, let's just talk about it. Let's educate. Because I know for you and I, we don't know it. I mean, we don't really know all the ins and outs. And I think when we talk to folks, they're going, well, I kind of get the sense of what cashless is. Like, I understand that it's basically cash transaction with no cash, but I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the
think
literal
that's what
definition.
everyone understands.
I
They're
know,
like,
but
cashless is cool. It's new. What is it?
so like a marlin, let's go deep, dude.
Let's
do
get in
that,
there.
right? Let's go.
Cast the line.
So I guess my first question, and obviously, Gary, you're an entrepreneur. You've been an entrepreneur for a long time. But one day you said, okay, I got all these other things. I own a casino, and I don't even know the whole list, but all these pubs and breweries and different things. Let's just do a cashless thing. So how did you decide to start it? Like, what did you see in the market that made you do it? Like, where did Marker Trax come from? Like, what's the origin story?
Yeah, Marker Trax was first before the wallet or
Sure.
anything. So Marker Trax, I had the idea a long time ago. saw a guy walk up to our cage in our small casino and access his line, got $1,000, and took the $1,000 and walked right out the door. Right? Well, that's not what a marker is.
That's not what you want to do. Yeah.
Right? So it was like, wow. You know, years ago, the majority of gaming was obviously live gaming, table games.
Sure.
Today, it's flipped where the majority of the games are slots and gaming devices, right? By a large margin, 65% or so. So at the time, we only had slots, and they're just computers, right? So simple idea was that, you know, I had a couple taverns at the time. And so we had Century Gaming, United Coin, had a way to load free play onto the credit meter. And you could control to some degree, you know, how that money was handled. It was played. You couldn't cash it out necessarily and take it with you. So it was just a simple idea. Why not use that technology and have our marker system work that way, where we issue the line of credit, right? But there is no cash that changes hands. So Marker Trax was to be a part of a cashless wagering account or some other way to deliver it. But since then, right, the wallets have come around. And but simple, you get the line of credit. It's transferred at your request, the amount you're approved for. You have a $1,000 line of credit, you can move $100 onto the credit meter. You play. Right? You can play all day long. There's a 1% fee, and if you play on that $100 all day long, it's a $1 charge.
Yeah, right.
Okay, it's a 1% fee of the high water mark, we call it. So if you download $500 and you're playing up and down, moving machines, there's a $5 charge, much cheaper than an ATM to access money. It's credit. When you end your session, whenever that is, if you're in a surplus, meaning that you downloaded $100.
Yeah.
If you have $101, you hit the cash out button, you're going to get $1.
Yeah, you pay back the marker.
Correct. Yeah. If you have $99 on the credit meter, when you hit the cash out machine, you go on accounts receivable
for the dollar
to the casino for the $1.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So it accounts for, it settles up, right? The credit at the end of every session, and it's simple. But it doesn't allow the casino's money to walk out the door.
Right.
So that, you know, it's very costly. In the casino business, our inventory is cash.
Right, yeah.
Right? So there's literally no cost of sales on the money if it's played in the machine. It's free play that's turned into accounts receivable.
Yeah, interesting.
If that makes sense.
It does,
so
yeah.
It sounds simple.
Yeah.
How simple was it
conceptually
to implement?
simple.
Oh, it was a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
I was going to say, how did you even do any of this? Like, it sounds great, but...
So I want to see if there's anything else like it out there, right? I wanted to protect it, get intellectual property attorneys with patents and ongoing patents, continuation patents, and hired intellectual property attorneys, and this went on and on and on, and they're very expensive.
Yeah,
right. And so other things happening. We're running businesses, and we're opening taverns, and spend a lot of money. And but you know, my vice president of finance, he'd get a bill from the attorney, $20,000, and so I stopped him from telling me about the bills.
Oh, right.
I don't want to hear about the invoices.
I just need you to
pay
do
him for this product because I believed in it. I knew what the power of it, and so you're not calling me about a Marker Trax bill, are you? No. Something else.
Yeah.
Just pay it. So we did that. Went on and on and on, and we have a patent attorney up in Carson City or Reno, Bob Ryan with Holland Hart, and he got the patent.
Awesome.
And so it was pretty cool. It was a pretty fun day when that happened. And casino operators get it. People that are gamblers, casino operators understand the concept of a marker. Credit built this town.
Yeah, right.
Right? So it's really credit for the masses. And that was, at certain points during the process, that was an issue with regulators because problem gaming always comes up.
Right.
So what about problem gaming? Well,
interesting. Yeah.
I take the flip side of it, and I am not embarrassed about the business we're in. we're in the entertainment business, right?
Right.
Yeah.
People dig gambling.
That's
I
right.
do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know, I do. So
Yeah.
it's fun. Most of the time I'm on the right side of the table.
Yeah,
but
right.
people are entertained by gaming. They always have been. We see it in most states, right? I'm not embarrassed by it,
Yeah.
but certainly conscious of people that have issues, people that have a problem with gambling. So we can better identify people that have a problem because we have to know we have to know the player. We have to know the gambler, and that's part of the process. You know, they apply.
Sure. I was just going to ask you, like, so the sign up process, because again, you say this kind of like credit for everyone. I only ever hear the stories now of the celebrity, you know, some hockey player, you know, rival of ours will say he came in, skipped his marker. So you go, oh, he had a big line of credit, he didn't pay. So it hits the news.
Yeah.
But part of me's going, okay, I guess he's got that much money. He probably doesn't keep it on him. So there's a credit situation. Yeah. Never occurred to me. Like, we go gambling all the time. Never once occurred to me, we should get some credit going. Right? Like, it just didn't, right?
I
Like,
can help you
yeah,
with
that's
that.
my point, right? Yeah. But that's because I go, well, what am I going to take $1,000? Like, I don't have a massive, I'm not betting $500,000.
10% ATM fees.
ATM fee.
Yeah.
Well, I'd rather pay 1% to him, right? Because if we come out ahead, that's
1%.
Oh yeah, whatever the 1,000 is. Yeah, $10. Yeah,
10.
So, I'm not a math guy, but that's okay. So we. Yeah, so that's interesting. So, okay, so then now let's say I want to go down to Ellis Island Casino and I want to log in. So I'm assuming it's a fairly quick application process.
The process to get a marker in a traditional casino was, you know, anywhere from a couple days to a couple months. It's, the back of the house really doesn't want to deal with it. It's now for $1 million player, the host is going to cram it down their throat. Say,
Yeah, sure. Take this down. Yeah, for sure.
But, you know, for $1,000, $500, $300, you know,
Just not
less
that urgent.
interested
Yeah, right.
in that. So it's all an automated process, and in 3 minutes, you're you know, approved or denied, right? And you're in action on the house's money that quickly. You go to a machine, you download from the app right to the machine, right to the credit meter, and you're playing.
Wow.
Very fast.
And it's funny because the beginning of this story was I watched a guy take $1,000 in credit and just go.
Yep.
Just see you later. Never again, like these things that happen, I wouldn't have guessed that, right? So it's an interesting problem.
By the way, that can hurt, you know, again, the intention is for a marker to be played in the casino.
For sure.
That can hurt someone. They're going to gamble. If they're gamblers, they're going to gamble. They're going to take that money, go out, do something else with it.
Yeah.
Spend, you know, markers are intended, gaming markers are intended for gaming.
Yeah.
Not to go pay your power bill. That's where people get stretched out.
It's not a lifestyle supplement. Right? It's more for this activity. Okay, so I have so many questions, but I'm thinking.
I'm curious.
Well, I was just gonna say, your dad's wrestling this bear, trying to do this whole thing, and you decided somewhere, going, "Hey, Dad, I'm in."
Fun.
Like, how did you join? Like, what was your recruitment?
So obviously it's a family business working on Ellis Island, so I'm kind of overseeing our casino operations. And when Marker Trax started growing and becoming more of a technology that was going to be live on our floor, it was a really great experience to be an operator as a liaison between the two companies and to hear what players like, the convenience of the product, any product improvements that we could bring back to
different offices. She got away from me.
That's probably
Didn't hear
smart.
my
Yeah,
BS,
I can't wait to hear the father-daughter dynamic here in the workplace. Yeah,
It's very strong.
Very good, yes. But I mean, I think everyone at the company knows the potential and is so excited about being a part of it. So I had to, you know, ease my way in as well. And I'm very lucky that I get to work both at Ellis Island and Marker Trax. So just knowing hearing more about what the players are interested in. And then we, of course, bring out all of our new features and upgrades at Ellis Island. So we're able to really get those moved on the floor quickly and make sure that we have everything tightened up before it goes to our other properties. So
That's an ongoing process.
Well, any technology is going to be iterative or phased in, right? And so what's interesting there is, it should have occurred to me, but it didn't. Like, now you're creating it and you use it. Right. So what a unique position to be in from a technology development perspective. Because oftentimes, like in our, call it day jobs, we create a cool thing and we think you're going to like it.
Yeah.
But then we wait, the customer gets it. We're not in the same family, so to speak. So we're just going, okay, 30 days, let me know. And so it's not as fast.
They'll always tell you, won't they? They'll always let you
Well,
know.
if it's bad, they for sure will tell you. So part of me is going, hey, silence, okay. Like, you know, you'll hear it. But This has got to be great.
When did you know you wanted to be in the gaming industry? Like, you could have done anything you wanted
She had
to
no
do.
choice.
She had no choice.
Could have been catching fish this whole time.
I
Yeah,
could have, no. I mean, I always knew that I wanted to work for the family business. I also work with my two sisters, so there's 3 of us, and we all work at Ellis Island, and along with all the other kind of sister properties that we have. But, family business is unique. But I think it definitely works for us because of how close we are and the relationship we have and getting to work with this guy every day and learning from him. So that's a big advantage that I would never, want to pass up. So
it's pretty cool.
Is there any
good answer?
Yeah, as both dad and boss, he approves. Is there any? So you say it kind of gets along. Is there any rivalry with the girls going? Hey, are you still? Are you hierarched in Gary's like, oh yeah, buddy, can't wait.
My sister says I'm competitive and she's not, but we're both competitive.
You
Both
have the microphone, so you're going to be right. Just tell us. Oh, a couple Capricorns. Okay, little stubborn-willed, successful people.
Yes,
yeah, that's
but
interesting.
no, we all work together, and it's.
They figure it out.
Yeah,
They
no doubt.
figure it out. They have to, So they're close. They love each other. They don't always like each other.
Yeah, well,
but most of the
that's
time
most family,
they do, right?
Yeah, that's family, regardless of
We
whether you
always
work for
sort
each
it
other.
out.
Yeah.
Sunday dinner,
That's right.
I was just going to ask you, do you bring work home, or how do you try to separate that? Because it's probably tempting to just talk about Marker Trax always or Ellis Island always.
Yeah, we try Sunday. We try to kind of separate that.
Family.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Did they have a credit line with you if they ever needed cash? It's like the dad credit line.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not so far. Yeah.
Don't give her any
good idea,
ideas.
though.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea. How have I not done that?
Yeah.
Need a special marker line just for my allowance.
Trust me, 4 women in the house, they all have credit.
They all
lines.
have
Yeah, I was gonna say you're a brave man. All
Yeah,
daughters. That's
How did you get into the gaming business? That's
just in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good question.
So I was born and raised in this town. My grandfather came here 70 years ago, 1953, and they came from a small town in West Virginia. They're from Italy, so they all migrated to a coal mining town, believe it or not, similar to what there was in Italy. And he decided, family had moved out west. He decided he was going to make that move. Actually, was going to San Diego, and stopped here. Stopped here, and told my dad, who was 17 or 18 at the time, and his sister, he said, "We're never leaving here.
This is home.
This is it."
Yeah.
They bought. This is interesting. A lot of the sign's still there, and he bought a motel on Fremont Street called the Paradise Motel, and lost it during one of Vegas's downturns. Went broke, totally broke, and so my father ended up going to work at the Golden Nugget as a shill for $1 an hour.
Okay.
And worked his way up.
So for maybe it's just me, but those uneducated, what does a shill do?
A shill just sits at a table and pretends like they're a customer.
Oh,
Make
so
it
they're
look
just
like they're
attracting
make it look like it's busy. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I'm like, maybe I'm the only one, but I'm going to ask anyway. Look like an idiot. That's fine.
So he did that and worked his way up, became, higher up in the casino business, was at the Stardust Hotel, got a real estate license.
Yeah.
You want this long story?
I'm in. Stardust Hotel. I'm liking all the history so far.
So he actually was on the Baccarat table in the Stardust, and decided it was kind of when Hughes was coming to town and buying all the property. Said, I think I'll try real estate, right? Just dirt. Got his real estate license, became very successful in the real estate business, bought the property on Colville Lane with a partner, and they built a little strip mall. Had, deli in it, barber shop, several different businesses, and they had a space for a bar.
Yeah.
Right? And nobody would take it. Colville Lane was like a dirt road back
Sure.
then. Nobody would take the space for the bar.
That's wild.
He was asking 25 cents a foot. So he said, well, hell, they had some food and beverage businesses back in their hometown. He said, I'll run it. So became the Village Pub. That was the original Village Pub on Colville Lane.
Yes, I knew it was all going to come together.
Yep. So my brother, myself, my 2 sisters, we had to work the business starting at about 12 years old, right?
Serving beer.
Can't do that today.
Well, I was bartending on opening night. I was 8 years old.
It's okay. Yeah.
So, worked every summer, but certainly sometimes on the weekends, and we had to all work.
Yeah.
You'd go to jail today for what he made us.
I was just
do at
going to
12
say,
years old,
12-year-old
right?
pouring beer, you're out. Yeah.
But we worked. I was the only idiot that liked the food and beverage business.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, always worked there. Went to UNLV, kind of, terrible student because I was always there.
I was at work,
Kind
yeah.
of hang out with my father and learn the business. And he used the Village Pub more as an office, he always said, because he was primarily in the dirt business, in the real estate business. And he said in those days, all you had to do was get in the way to make money in the real estate business, right? There were so many things happening. But, after college, I said to my father, he wanted me to come into the real estate business with him.
Yeah,
We'll
sure.
sell this. And I said, I don't want to do that.
I wanna
This is what I
develop
want to
this.
do,
Yeah, yeah.
right? I want to do something. I was born and raised here. Maybe someday I'll have a casino.
That's
I was
it.
just
Yeah, yeah.
stupid enough to think
No,
I could do
that's-
it, right? Naive. Sometimes
That's
that
how it
helps
starts.
you,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And so I can't give you the exact words, but he said, well, how are you going to do that? I said, well, I want to buy you out. And he said, you don't have any money.
yeah,
I said,
right.
"So you don't
With
have, you don't
what,
have, you
pal?
have no
Yeah,
money,
yeah.
right? And so I kept after him. I said, well, give me a payment book, right? And he just, couple years, and I just kept back and back. I didn't want to go to work for him. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So he gave me a payment book. He said, pay me first. Took all the cash, said, you pay me first, right? Of course, the checks went to my mother, so if I was ever late a couple months, she'd cover
He
for
was
me.
okay. Yeah, don't worry. He's whole. Yeah.
But that's the way it happened. It was a 20-year deal, and lucky enough to get had a local real estate guy call me. Had a Super 8 franchisee who wanted to build 250 rooms. And you needed 300 to get the resort hotel zoning, the non-restricted gaming license. And so struck a deal with them, build another 50, make it 300. You have the rooms, I have the casino. And it just kind of came together, and
Yeah.
the location, and it worked.
It's awesome.
And then
That's so cool.
The Ellis, and then that is where Ellis Island is born. That's pretty wild.
And I heard you guys just recently remodeled Ellis Island because people
It
were like,
looks
I went to Ellis
amazing.
Island today.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
Now
It's changed.
we're
It's
gonna tear it up
beautiful.
again.
Oh
Now we're
yeah,
gonna tear
just
it up.
never stop.
Continuing,
Back to your
yeah.
whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're adding 300 slots. We've
Awesome.
got F1 coming right
Yeah.
in front of us with
Oh,
700
that's cool.
feet of frontage
Yeah.
on the
So
on the
you-
track.
Do you guys have a seat for the F1?
Well, it's right in front of their property, I would
mean,
imagine
what do you
so.
do?
Yeah.
Well, let's see how this thing comes out. We'll talk.
Oh, are you asking for yourself? I thought he was asking if he was going to see. I'm like, it's in front of his property. Of course he's going to see it. What are you talking about?
Always be selling them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have it in me.
But yeah, we took over the hotel in 2014 and then started remodeling all of the rooms. And so we brought on the front yard, which is a new food and entertainment venue
Yeah.
in the front of our property. Newish, 2020 opened up, but
Yeah.
a lot of times.
Right in time for COVID.
That's it. Opened up right in time to shut her down.
Perfect
Yeah,
timing.
exactly.
Yeah, but we're just continuing to do more and more remodeling, and it's been exciting.
Yeah,
So the $1 million question: do you still have karaoke?
we
Of
do.
course.
Okay, so that's a staple.
Number one, best
I was
of Las
actually saying, I
Vegas.
was actually debating whether I ask you how long you keep the surveillance tapes, because when I was in college, there's a lot of me singing karaoke at Ellis Island.
He's
right?
a big Tay-Tay fan.
Yeah.
Well, she wasn't hot back in,
That's-
when I was in school, but yeah, no, now I am. Now I'd be shaking it off like anybody else. No big deal.
The location of the original Village Pub is actually where the karaoke lounge is
Oh,
today.
cool. Wow.
So it's still part of our property, and we're sure to name that out on all of our tours. So
Perfect. Yeah, that's awesome.
Were you a UNLV grad?
I did not go to UNLV.
Okay.
I went to Chapman University
Yeah.
in Orange County and did a business degree there. So
Very cool.
came back home right after college and started working.
Yeah.
And then got into casino operations. Started in human resources, then down to casino operations, and I've been there ever since. So,
And what has been your biggest challenge coming up from the ground up in this industry to where you are now? What has been a challenge for you?
that's a good question. I feel very lucky that I've had a lot of great mentors and people that have shown me along the way. We lean a lot on our directors and people who have been in the industry for a long time. We kind of people who have worked in the industry for a long time like our property because it is unique in that it's not very corporate. We can get things approved and done and very quickly. So making sure I, utilize all of their knowledge as much as I can, that has really taught me a lot along the way. So
That's awesome.
Smart kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's wild.
There's not a lot of the old school owners anymore. It's cool.
Right.
The
that-
Mavericks, the originals.
Mavericks,
Yeah,
man.
no
It's
doubt.
I can't imagine the stories you have from back in the day.
But 1 second, you've glazed over in the karaoke conversation.
boy.
What is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh my goodness.
We all know the owners are taking over at some point and belting out some tunes. So what are we going with?
Mine is Mr. Brightside by the Killers.
A little true Las Vegas band. We'll take it.
Yes. I had my 21st birthday in our karaoke lounge. So did my younger sister. So there's a lot of good songs that have been sung on that
I'm
sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
A lot of fun.
Gary, what do you get up in belts for karaoke?
I
You
go
still
to nothing. Summer Wind is my song.
there you go. I was gonna say a couple Sinatra tunes
you
or
go.
something, just
That's
keeping it
Yeah.
original.
Yep.
Now you can get into whatever you're gonna ask. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
you
just-
threw me completely off my
completely.
game. But we should get back to the cashless.
I was gonna
side.
say Carol will be mad if we don't get back on
right.
subject
You'll be in
here. So
trouble.
shout out Carol. Thank you for everything. I point over there. She's not even here. So she's here in spirit.
Yes, she is.
So okay,
She's
so
the
one of the
best.
things, yeah, that's it. That's right. She's just right here and she's rent free in my head. But we, so okay, so one of the things we were looking at for cashless is saying, okay, so the marker piece, and you even alluded to it when you were kind of walking us through it, is it's just one portion, right? And so it's only even one portion of your cashless enterprise, right? So you kind of look at how do we break this down? So I think we hear a lot about wallet. Like, is that the easiest way to start, or how do you, like, if I was a true cashless novice, how would you start kind of the journey of cashless? I call it end-to-end cashless, or how do you think about it?
Yeah, I think that this is the future.
The device, the mobile.
This becomes an ATM machine. This becomes a credit card cash advance machine. Becomes the vehicle to transfer money from any, your bank account, a credit card, a debit card, Marker Trax, any other source of funds, Venmo or whatever, through
PayPal.
this to,
Yeah.
what's that?
PayPal.
PayPal,
yeah.
exactly. Through this to the machine, right? Keeping track of it. It's a wallet,
Yeah.
so that anything that can fund a machine today manually, you're at the machine, and that happens while you're sitting at the machine.
Right.
It's easier, keeps track of everything. You know your customer better because that also requires a process. Not like somebody who has a problem, and we go back to problem gaming, right? You can literally better identify somebody that's playing over their means.
Sure.
And so, but it's a tool to move the money from somewhere
Got it.
to the machine, to the table, to your account for sports betting.
Sure. Yeah.
So, and it's quick, and it's seamless.
So now we just need to condition players to become accustomed to using this as their one-stop shop.
I would
for
imagine they are,
their
though.
wallet.
Yeah.
They do. They listen.
Yeah.
It's not here
Yeah.
today like it will be. It's just going to continue to grow, and cash will probably always be around, right?
Yeah.
But less and less. Look at the Apple, Apple Wallet and various other forms of payment solutions that are out
Yeah.
there. It's incredible.
I would say
It's
that's
just
the
easier.
only time I ever get cash out is if I'm going to a casino to play. Like if you don't, or I have to pay my housekeeper, but I never have cash ever.
You give your housekeeper cash?
She takes cash. That's all she takes is cash.
Call the IRS, buddy. What are we doing here? It's like weird flex, bro. But thank you. For that. Yeah, it's like that's what we all do apparently. Nice
Come
job,
after me
Landon.
for my
How messy are
$60.
you? No, so you have your wallet established, right? And is that so? You guys also own a company called Coin with a
Correct.
K, right? KOIN, and that's a wallet company.
That's a full solution wallet. Yes.
Perfect. Yeah. So the wallet is kind of the hub, is how I think of it. It's kind of the center of everything, and then so that would interface then with like Marker Trax, for example, for credit.
Right.
The wallet also is what speaks to the gaming device, right? So to your point, if I let's say I cashed a marker,
Yep.
that marker amount, so let's call it $500, is into my wallet now.
Yep.
That's how I have it, and then wallet puts it into the game. Am I thinking about that
Yeah,
right?
some systems today use a cashless wagering account because cashless wagering accounts have been around forever, where you could post money from front money. It
Yeah,
was
so
a
I
very
could bring
common
cash
thing.
to the casino.
Right.
So
Yep,
somebody
yep.
from out of town might move $10,000 to a casino cage. Wasn't used very much because it's another step. It's friction.
Yeah, right.
So
Yep.
you go put your money at the cage, then you go to a machine. You post that money to my cashless wagering account. Extra steps don't work. This is really the wallet is the vehicle through an app.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Through an app at every individual casino, where you then will move the money onto the machine, table games,
Yeah.
sports betting, whatever you have.
And you said something, I think, as you were just kind of, maybe it was just referencing general cashless things. But you said something like PayPal. Can I fund a wallet through that now? Or like, how? So if I had, Landon loses bets to me all the time, so he PayPals me $500. So I could either PayPal or Venmo my wallet and then have that money available to play.
That's correct.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's correct.
Because I do agree the friction piece is where it gets a little frustrating, right? So some of the early cashless, you're going, okay, it's cashless, but I still have to go to the thing, right, and load it, or I still have to potentially, I mean, I guess debit card's not terribly inconvenient, right? But
Yeah.
If you're sitting in a machine and you've lost $100, you want to play another $100.
Yeah.
You're going to get up, go to the ATM machine. This becomes the ATM
That's
machine.
it right there. Yeah.
It's really the convenience that we've heard from players is the biggest benefit is just being able to access.
And it reduces the friction.
Yeah.
It reduces the friction, which is what we all want to do.
Yeah. And I guess, okay, so then just thinking through it, so first on the rest of the pieces. So are there, what else have we not asked about? So you have your wallet itself, and then your different means to fund it. And then in your case, you have the unique marker kind of functionality. Are there other bridges or spokes to this thing, or what other parts of cashless?
Each casino management system, IGT, Konami, all of them. There's the four big ones.
Yeah. Come on, buddy. Look around. Take a clue, Gary. What are we doing here? Yeah.
Can't forget that one.
Quick, couldn't help myself. Quick. They all have different systems that operate different ways, right? So they've all built access to the Marker Trax product.
Yep.
But some of them work differently, right? You go into a different property. You may access it differently, but it's kind of a easy curve to learn.
But that's mostly on the back end?
That's correct.
So you have to have an individual app for each property at this point? Is that kind of
that's basically it. It basically is, yes.
And it's for Marker Trax, it's an individual application. So the operators work with Marker Trax on the unique scoring algorithm that they put together and they want to offer for their players. So you could have a $500 line at one property and a $1,500 line at another property based on the different features that or algorithm that they have in place.
So it's kind of like a white label solution where you guys offer a casino the ability to have an app for cashless right on their property. What kind of investment is it for the operator to take on cashless at their property? Like, what would I have to do as an operator?
Yeah, if I'm listening to this and I want to put it in, is it like $1 million to set this whole thing up, or?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, again, it depends on the CMS provider to the property, and then we're very inexpensive.
Yeah.
Just call me and we'll make
Tell him Gary sent you. You got a great deal.
Make a deal.
But that again depends on the casino.
Yep.
What every casino sets their own structure as far as if you want to only approve what's equivalent to a FICO 800 score and greater, you can do that.
Yep.
If the casino wants to take risk and knowing that the player has the revenue, has the income to handle their obligations, you could have a 600 equivalent FICO score and give them credit, right? They're a player. So every casino sets their own rules as to and so the costs vary too.
How many, I guess now what we're thinking about is credit, like how many people try to skip out? So obviously the system will, if you have any money left, the system pays itself first, right?
That's correct.
Let's say I took the 100 and then I got all the way to my 1,000 because it was 100 at a time. And I lost. It's yours anyway. I'm out of here. I mean, how many times do they not try to pay you back? Like, is it pretty honorable? People pay you back?
Well,
or is it?
Again, it depends on if you think about the whole process. Yeah. You think about accessing a credit line.
Yeah.
You go and access a $500 credit line at a casino.
Sure.
Now you go to play, right? And you lose the 500, and you never pay the casino. Flip the scenario where the guy took the $1,000, and when he left and never paid me, it was $1,000.
You're eating it anyway. Yeah.
So when you lose the 500 through this process, you leave and never pay me, what am I out?
500?
No.
0, because you got it back.
Oh, because you got it back. Yeah.
Well,
kind of.
It's on accounts receivable.
Right.
It's on accounts receivable.
It's in different buckets of the P&L. Yeah.
But where'd the money go?
Just boomerang right back to you, I guess. Yeah.
There was no money.
Would be down.
There was no money.
Trick question. There was no mother. It was the boy's mother. Yeah. It's like, what? Like, what's happening?
I mean, it's kind of, some people, it kind of blows their mind. You know?
Yeah. I feel like I'm in that company right now. Like, I'm like, what? There's no
I was hoping Joey the fish showed up and went and got the $500.
Yeah.
Like, where's Joey in this scenario?
He's now Joey the Marlin.
Think of free play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Think of
thinking
free
of it.
play.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you have $100 in free play, right? And if you go in and you play through your $100, right, and you lose it, right? The casino used that as a promotional expense.
Sure.
Right? They didn't give you $100 bill, right? That came out of the cage.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Was it an actual cash transaction? Sure.
Correct. That's correct.
Interesting.
You
You
got to
see-
think that one will hit you at 3 in the morning.
Yeah. I'm going to wake up in a cold
really,
sweat.
Really,
Yeah.
It was his father.
It's a true story that sometimes people are like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, I get it. I mean, I still am some part of my mind going, the horse's name was Friday. But like, it's like, it's all these old riddles. I'm like, what? There's no money. What are you talking about? But like, you sit there and you go, I guess you're right. Because I gave you 500 that you effectively just gave me back.
The cage employee gave the customer $1,000.
Yeah.
Customer took the 10 Benjis and walked out the
That's
door.
bad. Yeah.
That's
That
no
is
bueno.
bad.
Yeah.
That's
That's
not
bad.
good.
Yeah.
That's the worst scenario. Because there is real money in that.
There's real money in that.
But in
and
a
it's
scenario where it's digital, and you say, look, I gave you $500 in credit that I make sure you play. That seems to be the key.
Yeah, you go into Best Buy and you have a Best Buy credit card.
Yep.
And you buy that TV.
Correct.
And you don't pay Best Buy.
Right.
Well, they sold it to you for $1,000. They paid $500.
Right.
Right. When you don't pay them, they're out $500.
Right.
There's no cost of sales in the casino business if the money stays in the casino.
Yeah, right.
That's your point.
Interesting. We should not
Wild.
tell people that. But it is maybe why Joey the Fish isn't
Well,
out there chasing people.
I like telling
Yeah.
casino owners and casino operators.
Sure.
Because that's the power of Marker Trax. Okay? The power of Marker Trax is that your money can never walk out the door. It's your money.
Yeah.
You cannot walk out the door. In the $1,000 scenario, the what created Marker Trax, if that customer had gone to a machine, put the $1,000 in the machine,
Yeah.
lost it all,
Yeah.
walked out, and never paid me, what am I out?
0.
0.
Yeah.
You got it.
Got it. Yeah, this is once it clicks,
mind-blowing.
it clicks, right? So like,
saw
feel
it.
like,
Sure,
yeah,
man.
I'm
Use it when
like,
you
he
need it.
light bulbed me. Yeah, that's it. No, we're doing that.
But does that make sense?
It does,
It's a
yeah,
little-
it does. I guess.
It never leaves the property.
So okay, so now that the math all checks out,
Yes.
how do the feelings come into play? Because there's still an element of like you just skipped out on your market, right? And then maybe I'm watching too many old Robert De Niro movies, but part of me's going, there's an element of this too, yeah.
They owe the money.
Yeah, right.
In your celebrity example, okay, maybe a basketball player owes $900,000
Sure.
somewhere, right? They are obligated to pay that money. In fact, the district attorney will collect for you.
Yeah,
Right?
perfect.
It's
Yeah.
gambling debt.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, you want people to pay, and you do not want to give credit to people that aren't going to pay you.
Right, for
That's the kind of the science of markers. It's the way it's been for 50 years.
Yeah, at least.
It's the way it is today. It's the way it is with Marker Trax. You want people. Listen, I have people that credit. Like I say, credit built this town.
Yeah,
People
right.
with credit will sometimes drive into the property where they have credit, or their car will automatically go to the property where they have credit, because a gambler likes playing on the house's money.
Sure.
They're in nothing and they hit something. Happens every day.
Oh, yeah.
They're playing on the house's money, make a score, hit a $4, $5, $20,000 jackpot, right?
I always give it back.
I know. I heard that about you.
You especially. He's
Play with us.
he's a very giving guy.
Approved.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
the owner just signed you up.
So
That's
it's different.
Marketing,
Very
loyalty program.
Yeah, it's very simple, and it is a loyalty program. So we want visits. We've created a tremendous amount of additional visits with the product. It's a loyalty, but like Anna said, it's a loyalty program. You're our customer. You're worthy of it. Here's a credit line.
Yeah.
It's convenient. It's not for anything else other than creating loyalty, creating visits, and it's a way of telling our customers, you're kind of part of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the credit lines I've given my dad.
I don't have
How
to.
far off
Shoes
do
didn't
you-
buy themselves.
How
Sorry.
far off do you think we are from this being adopted, like mainstream?
Everywhere,
Yeah. in the gaming space.
It continues to grow. It'll continue every month. It's going to grow. Is it 5 years? Is it 7 years? I mean, people, it's 3 years away. It, that's the big question. We're definitely moving down that path.
Gaining momentum.
There is.
Just finally catching up.
If anybody says cashless is not coming, I believe they're wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Cashless is coming. Not going to replace cash. Right? People like to have, right. But it's coming. So.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
So then you mentioned loyalty, and I know you kind of look after, at least for Marker Trax, part of the marketing team. Yeah. So like, do those two automatic connect, or do you have to do a lot of work to connect those two? Because obviously, if I'm spinning through $1,000 and returning it, and $1,000 returning it, like I'm gaining points on that, right?
Definitely.
Are those two?
Yeah. So you have to be part of the loyalty program in order to apply.
Okay.
So that's the biggest piece, and definitely the first step, no matter where you're applying and wherever there is Marker Trax. And then we also have a full operator dashboard that tracks all spend through Marker Trax. So reporting, payments, etc. So merging that together with the CMS, we're able to see, who the increase in play from our Marker Trax players, increase in visits, and then how we want to bonus and benefit them with extra offers or different events or different levels of our loyalty program to make them stand out in a way that they never, have before. It's so competitive with different properties and what everyone offers. And so it's another advantage to why that player is going to go to your property. And merging the two is really where we've had the most success with the program, is looking at it not with like traditional credit. It's not just a credit line. It's an advantage and benefit of the loyalty program. And so you get extra funds to play with that we're giving you.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So
That's going to be valuable, because then everybody's in your loyalty system. I mean, it just starts to, from what I've heard, I'm not owned certainly or operated a casino, but you get a lot of this data, wanting to understand who's coming in the door, who's playing. I mean, it starts to solve more than just the credit piece. It's more carded play, probably more different things. Yeah,
it's all about data.
Pretty valuable.
Pretty cool. I feel like, are we going to do our normal 2 questions at the end of this?
Why would we not?
Why would we not?
Just because the royalties in the house doesn't mean we...
I listened to this podcast, and for whatever reason, it's not coming to mind, so I will be coming in blind to this.
So that's okay. So this will be great. And so actually, from your perspective, you can do it as a gambler or as a casino owner, but generally what we ask for, because we are kind of gambling show, is, do you have a fun gambling story you want to share? So it's a softball question, but it's just one of those.
None I can tell.
None that you can tell. Yeah, that's just.
I'm licensed.
You're like, oh, that's right. You're like the Dos Equis man. I can't speak about it. Just know that it's epic. Yeah. It's almost as big as the Marlin. By yourself or no?
Any story that you went out and had fun with your friends? Maybe you won $100. Who knows? Like, just a fun story.
I have never hit a jackpot, but I've been around people hitting jackpots a lot, and so feeding off of that has been, my great experience. One day I shall hit.
I have friends that have gambled and they had fun.
She's related to a license holder, so we're gonna just go ahead and buzz through that. Yeah, that's it. He's like, we all know her.
Well, the next question is, and we'll let you both call someone out.
Okay.
I guess we're going to call someone out.
Let's do it.
To continue the Marker Trax.
Well, that's up to you. So there's a couple things, I think, so you can take it however you want. So for those listening, this is kind of episode 1, and I think about a 6-part series, just getting folks in, talk cashless, share some fun stories. I don't know if that list is established. So if there's calls to be made on that list, then let's get it. The otherwise is I'd also give you a blank slate to just say, who do you think? So we call it the MaxBet challenge. So taken from like the ice bucket challenge, where back in the day you dump ice on yourself. And I think Landon should do it next, right? And then Landon's like, great, I got to dump ice on myself. Same thing. Like, you came on, you were generous with your time, and you hopefully had some fun. And you go, well, who do you think should sit in that chair next? Who should we talk to? Like, we don't pretend to know all the cool people in gaming.
So in cashless.
Can be cashless or can be whatever.
I feel like it's appropriate.
Oh boy, sharp guy from Sightline is Omer from
Sightline.
Yeah.
And Sweet Lettuce. So we like that combination.
He's good man. There's several. I think our guy Gary Larkin, who runs Coin.
Yeah.
He's been in the payments business. It's just like his entire business life.
Sure.
You will not meet a sharper guy on cashless. I promise you. And on the wallet, he is I would say number one.
Yeah,
Would you agree?
absolutely. No, he's definitely would be amazing to have on with
Perfect.
You would
Omar.
enjoy
Even.
that. Yeah.
That would
Yeah,
be a
you would
great
enjoy
duo.
that.
I like it. Know them both.
Great.
They're both
Yeah.
good dudes. So
Yeah.
you gentlemen have been called out.
Dun dun dun.
I like it.
Get somebody.
I like it.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Homer's a sharp man.
That's true.
Very
Yeah, he's overdue. I feel
And
like
he
we've
has
been.
awesome
We know
scarves.
Omer. Yeah,
He
Wow.
does.
He's got a lot of
He
awesome.
He's got a
Yes,
great scarf
great
collection.
style.
Just want to point that out. So there it is.
There was a period. So I'll just preview the Omer episode. There was a period in time where I was trying to convince him to grow a full beard, and that did not last long. So he did it for a bit. He liked it. Kind of didn't last with everybody in his fan club. So we'll.
And you know Charlie. I mean,
Yeah, well, Charlie's set to come on, I think, at some
Yeah.
point. So
Yeah.
we'll.
Yeah,
Yes.
Charlie's.
He might
Definitely.
bookend the series
First
with you.
guy I went
Yeah.
to when they got the patent. After I'd gone to him years ago with United Coin, Century Gaming. They built Marker Trax, but didn't have the infrastructure that could run it.
Sure.
And so gaming didn't like the reporting, and so we had to abandon it with them. But they would have been the first, even before the patent.
Well,
But Charlie was the first guy I thought
Yeah.
of when I got the patent, and I said, you gotta come work with me. What? He was amazed and that we got it, and then we went through the process and locked him up.
Yeah.
He's in now. He can't get out.
that's it. Yeah, that's.
He's,
Sorry,
he
Charlie.
loves it.
Yeah,
He's a real tremendous asset to the company.
awesome. Yeah, he seems great.
Knows
I mean,
everybody in the business.
Well, that's the thing. I see him, and you see him everywhere. Like
Yeah.
the guy puts the miles on, and
I'm
he's
running
out
for
there.
mayor
Yeah.
next when he retires.
I'd vote for him. I don't know what his platform is. I guess I should wait to see his issues, but generally, I'm in. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, I
and,
really do appreciate
Thank
the
you
time.
for being a trailblazer in this industry and continuing to
Not
enhance
sure about
our...
that, but I appreciate
Oh, come
it.
on. You've taken on something that nobody would take on. So
Yeah.
it's admirable. So thank
And
you
you
guys.
had the stones to buy your dad out of his own company, so I feel like you get some kind of credit for being I don't know, maverick or
Luckily
trailblazer or
it
something.
worked
Yeah,
out.
yeah, it all paid off for you. That's good. Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, I really do appreciate the time, Anamarie and Gary,
Thank you.
and
It's our
yeah,
pleasure.
looking forward to the rest of the series, and we'll be back soon.